Chapter 1. Daughter of a Ghost. One of the first happy memories Candy has is of a screen with flashing colors. A woman dances, her hair in vivid bright colors, her skin shimmers with glitter, her clothes flashing in the lights as she moves. Candy can't remember the song, only what she feels as she hears the strumming of the guitar, the beats of the drum, and the sweet voice of the woman. She is everything to Candy, familiar despite she doesn't have prior memories of this woman. It's comforting, the words the woman sings, the melody of the song, and Candy keeps her eyes on the screen as someone pulls at her hair, braiding it behind her. For the years to come, the only constant people in Candy's life are the people on her silver screen with the bright colors. The people on the screen are different, but the flashing lights, the dances, the beat of the drums, strum of the instruments, and simply the melodies all made her feel safe and happy. The people in her life change a lot, a new young woman every now and again. They all wear shades of gray and their hair is pulled back, blending into the decor of white, grays, and beiges, all colors muted and lifeless, all wires and switches hidden with panels and decor. Some of the ladies have warm hands and others have cold hands when they hold and hug Candy, tugging at her hair while braiding it, stroking her cheeks. They are there to care for her, feed her, bathe her, and clothe her, out of obligation to her father. Candy doesn't mind them, talks with them, hugs them, and is generally nice to them as long as they are there, but they don't mean anything special to her. They are like her bed or her chair or the food she eats. She needs one, but she doesn't really care which one it is at any given time. The ladies are just sort of there until she is of an age where she bathes, dresses, and feeds herself. Wave goodbye to Daddy, Frida, they tell Candy on occasion when her father leaves in the mornings. In theory, Candy knows her name is Frida Andersson, but the name doesn't feel like her name. It was given to a baby in a hospital, whose parents barely acknowledged her existence since giving her that name. She doesn't know how to be Frida Andersson. No one tells her how to be the person she was born to be. It doesn't feel like her name, and deep down she knows it is not, but she doesn't have another name yet, so she answers to Frida. And the person they call her daddy is her father. Candy knows this in theory as well. He feels as much of, if not more of a stranger than the ladies in gray that take care of her. He is far away, distant and cold, never within touching distance. She only ever sees her father's back as he is walking away, tall and slender in a sleek black suit. She doesn't think he even has a face. She doesn't remember seeing it. Bye, she sings the word out in a happy tone like a melody to her father's retreating back as he hurries away. He's a busy man, they say, very important as well, they say. He has everything, they say. He doesn't have a face, Candy thinks to herself. Candy's mother feels more like a ghost than a stranger, someone vaguely familiar but not really there. Candy sees her even less than her father, just sometimes from behind a window or through a doorframe if she manages to sneak a peek. Her mother's hair is long and blonde, flowing to the small of her back. She has pale skin like porcelain. Her clothes are white and clean, and she moves silently like she is made of air. She doesn't have a face either. When Candy thinks of her, she is floating away with her back turned, long blonde hair like smoke flowing after her in eerie silence. Your mother is not well, Frida, one of the ladies in gray clothing tells her one day as Candy catches a glimpse of her through the doorway. Her mother is floating away quietly once again into her room. The door closes behind her automatically, white panel restricting the view of her. A 5-year-old Candy thinks it must be the ghost realm because she is not allowed in there. Candy hears variants of her mother not being well from time to time, when the people around her talk as if she isn't there or can't understand. She is in the kitchen sometimes when they prepare food or drinks, or if they are cleaning around her while she sits on one of the plush white chairs. Mrs. Andersson has lost her mind. Mrs. Andersson is sick. Mrs. Andersson has been in bed for a whole month this time. Mr. Andersson deserves a better wife than Mrs. Andersson. Candy thinks her mother is doing great considering that she is only a ghost. My mom is a ghost, Candy answers the lady, her voice sweet, almost singing out the words. That comment stirs some conversation among the cleaners, the cooks, and the ladies in gray for a while. So sad for little Frida, she doesn't know her mother is real. So sad for little Frida that her mother doesn't care for her. Candy is not sad, though. She feels quite happy. She is the daughter of a ghost, so she must be quite special, destined for something great. Chapter 2. special treatment. Before she starts in school, Candy learns what she wants to through her silver screen and VR sets mostly. Watching cartoons, later drama series, all in any form of entertainment, though her favorite is music and dance. She even finds porn at age 6, sneaking into her father's room and watching his screens to see if he has different shows than her. Sex isn't really a surprise for her. She hears the staff talk about her parents' sex life. Having sex with Mrs. Anderson would be like having sex with a corpse, and there is a fetish for that, but it's not what Mr. Anderson is into. Judging by the screen, Candy's father likes his women alive, naked, with big breasts, with rosy cheeks and their mouths open for his cock. Judging by the comments of the more permanent staff, Mr. Anderson enjoyed the company of the young ladies that came and went as cleaners, tutors, cooks, and other maintenance people. Candy has a few tutors before she starts school when she is 5 and 6. All of them are women, all of them are young, all of them are pretty, and all of them are smart. It's a great opportunity to tutor the child of Mr. Anderson, an honor really, they say. They end up disappointed when she is not interested in their numbers and written words, despite how much they insist that it's useful. Instead, she wants to learn how to dance, how to sing, and how to play the guitar. Candy gets ballet teachers, the only dance lessons she is allowed to take. It's not quite the dances her idols dance, but she is determined to learn. Sadly, her ballet dresses are white or nude, lacking in color, unlike the costumes her idols wear. Her teachers are impressed with her when Candy learns the different movements quite easily. Even if the music isn't what she is used to or even likes, Candy can feel the notes and knows which movement belongs to each of them. It comes naturally to her, moving with purpose and smoothly. From the selection of instruments there is available, Candy chooses the violin. It's the closest thing to a guitar, she thinks, a bit like a smaller guitar really. It has strings and the look is similar. She likes the sounds she can make, notes ringing one by one first, and once she gets the hang of it, she puts them together. Melodies her teachers want her to learn, melodies from her childhood, and later melodies she comes up with. At age 7, Candy starts school with other children, which is a whole different world than the home she had been confined in for the first 6 years. The children there are like her, fair-skinned with blonde or light brown hair with blue or green eyes. Northern European, that look is called, Scandinavian. Their uniforms are beige and white and boring, fitting into the colorless background of the school. It's as lacking in color as Candy's home. You look interesting. Let's sit together. Candy picks and chooses a friend the first day, a girl with brown hair and brown eyes and with a bit more color in her skin. She looks more interesting than the rest, even if she looks a bit confused at Candy's words. With a timid nod, she agrees to the friendship. They sit together for a week or two. Candy tells her stories she has seen, about her life, dances for her and plays the violin, while the girl mostly listens to her and watches her in awe. It's all good and fun, but it was time for a change, so she chooses another girl after week 2, and another girl after 2 weeks again. Eventually, she has been through all of the girls in her class, and they all seem to wait for it to be their turn again and follow her around. They always want to do what she does. They want to talk with her. They want to be where she is. They want to see her dance, and they want to do anything she says. It makes Candy smile. The attention feels so good, better than anything she has felt before. She wants more. Through Candy's school years, she gets more and more attention. Admiration, hate, love, jealousy, outrage, rumors, slander, praise, scolding. It was all the same thing really. Attention. All focus on her, which is the important thing. One certain event puts Candy in the spotlight of the whole school permanently. It happens shortly before she turns 8 years old. She plays her violin, practicing for a school performance, and cuts her finger on one of the strings. The pain stings for a moment, and she watches her fingers as red blood drips from the small wound. Vivid in color in this world where everything is white, gray, and beige, devoid of color. It feels vibrant, powerful. She loves it. She is in full color inside, full of blood. She needs more. She needs it to show outside. It takes a while, but Candy is able to cut open her palms with any sharp tool she finds. More blood is flowing from her, more red, more color, more vivid, more alive. She smears it across her white dress and to the ends of her hair, on her cheeks, and her white shoes catch some drops as well. Covered in blood, she enters the stage, ballet steps and perfect melody on her violin. The audience consists of teachers, parents, and children with feet, shock, disgust, with awe, admiration, with all kinds of emotions, all eyes on her. But her father and mother are not among them. They still never look her, a faceless man and a ghost. A new beige room is introduced to Candy's world after this bloody performance. There she sits in a soft white chair with her hands in bandages to heal the wounds on them. A pleasant woman with a soothing voice asks her many questions about her thoughts, about her life, about her family, and about her friends. There is a video camera pointed at Candy as she answers. It's her first interview, just like her idols, so she smiles and answers the questions eagerly, sparing no detail. The interview is sent to Candy's father only, and it's very hard to find and read, but Candy finds it. It has complex words that she doesn't understand. Psychopathic tendencies, narcissistic personality disorder, delusionary worldview. What she does understand is special treatment recommended, which she strongly agrees with. Candy is special, the daughter of a ghost, and she should get special treatment. What doesn't feel like special treatment is when the music teacher decides the following year that Candy's performance should feature another student too, a duo. David plays the piano, has blue eyes and blonde hair, is generally rather quiet, and Candy has not minded him at all. However, she doesn't want to share the stage with him, or with anybody. While performing, there should be no one else getting the attention she deserves. Everyone will love it, the music teacher says, quite proud of herself for the idea. I'm sure they will love me on my own too, Candy tells her with a sweetest voice and her sweetest smile. It usually got her what she wanted. She was fairly good at asking for things to go her way, and she tries to get this to go her way too. Of course they would Frida. But it's double the love with the two of you on stage, the music teacher insists. Even so, half the love would be for David. So Candy has to think of another way to get David out of the picture. It's the following day, when David has the accident. Tech class is one of the only classes Candy actually enjoys and finds interesting. It's useful for her as she learns how to tube and customize her electric violin. What is also interesting is that a laser cutter could cut through meat and bone. What is also interesting is that a pianist can't play without fingers. What is also interesting is that a 10-year-old can't be liable for accidents in a classroom. Anything that happens is fully the teacher's fault. Though Candy did not actually think about that when she aimed the laser at David's fingers, she just thinks she needs to get rid of him. David screams until he is hoarse or until he is in such shock that he can't function anymore. Candy is unsure which. The room smells of burnt flesh, something Candy hasn't smelled before. It's different from the filtered air she breathed, more real and authentic. It makes her smile. 4 fingers of his left hand cut fresh off. His stupid thumb he could keep. The whole room is in panic, students screaming, some of them laughing, some of them running away. Candy gets to perform the show on her own. She is sent to another beige room for another interview. This one is also just sent to her father, reading many of the strange terms as the last one. It says, in dire need of special treatment, which makes Candy smile. Maybe now they would treat her as the special girl she is. For a while at least no one tries to get her to perform with another person again. She performs on her own. Dolo, the sole center of attention. The interviews continue throughout her school years, and Candy eventually understands that they aren't interviews. She is in therapy with an actual doctor who seems to want to figure her out, to cure her mind. But Candy isn't broken or unwell like her mother. She is more alive and better than anyone else she knows. Once Candy's body develops at age 13, her breasts grow and her hips widen, more is added to the list of attention: lust, desire, and want. In the beginning, it's exciting and new, the attention of boys and men flattering. After a while, it starts to feel too fleeting to care about much at all. This kind of attention went away when the next short-skirted girl skimmed along with her slutty legs and ass hanging out. There is talk about Candy's hot-to-crazy ratio. While she apparently is the hottest girl, she might be too crazy to fuck. She might cut their dicks off like David's fingers, or she might make them drink poison like she did with Clara, who went blind. None of the boys seem worth fucking to her anyway, so she doesn't mind. Some of them deem her hot enough to try and impress her, but she is not that interested in what they have to say. They tell her about what their families own, about the grades they get, about achievements in various activities, Nothing that is even vaguely interesting. Sometimes she doesn't even bother answering, just turning her back and walking away. One day she is laying on a lounge chair by herself in between classes. Ever since she cut David's fingers off and poisoned Clara, her peers have been scared of her. Which is quite all right. They all still looked at her, some in fear, others with admiration and various other emotions. It is still attention. She knows they talk about her. Hi, it's a boy's voice that cuts into her peace and quiet. Unusual, the voice doesn't tremor with fear or boast out like the boys that try to impress her. She lifts her eyes from her hands that had played an imaginary tune. It's David, the boy whose fingers she cut off. Hi, she answers, looking up at him and smiles. How is your hand? She asks, looking at his left hand. It had chrome fingers installed into it, white and sleek, wires and mechanics hidden well. Missing 4 fingers, he answers and sits down in the chair next to hers with a smile. He is still quiet, but not as nervous as he was around her 3 years ago. He is tall and lanky now, long limbs and bony structure. They haven't talked since the accident with his fingers, Candy continuing her ballet and violin, performing solo shows, David dropping piano and focusing on tech studies. Don't be mad about that, it makes you interesting. Candy answers him with a sweet smile, dimples on her cheeks and a light in her eyes. The most interesting thing about David is what she did to him after all. In a way, he should thank her. It's a long time ago, I'm over it. David answers her with a roll of his eyes and a sigh. And how are you? I'm special, Candy answers honestly in a singing tone, because she knows she is special. Daughter of a ghost and a faceless man, she still thinks, though it's not really true. Her parents are actual people, the Anderssons. They are in the business of owning things, including her as their child. She is the result of their arranged marriage to produce a blonde, blue-eyed heir to their fortune. Her mother didn't even give birth to her. She was developed in an incubation chamber or something like that. She is to be married to one of the boys in this school, who has blonde hair and blue eyes too, to produce another blonde and blue-eyed heir to own things after herself. You sure are, David agrees and looks at her. It's interesting the way he looks at her. It's not fear or lust, which most people looked at Candy with. It's like he is intrigued. He is trying to figure her out, like the doctor that is trying to cure her. Let me see your hand, Candy tells him and gets up from her place on the lounge chair. She seats herself in David's lap, a leg on either side of his hips moving in fairly close. His body reacts to her proximity. He hardens underneath her while she takes his hand with the cybernetic fingers in her own hands to study the fingers. Do you have feeling in your fingers? She asks curiously, running her own fingers across the white, smooth chrome surface. Yes, your father paid for them and my parents wanted the highest quality tech there was. I have them changed as my hands grow. Your father pays for that too. David answers a bit out of breath. His eyes travel between Candy's chest and her face, like he doesn't know where to look. I think Daddy owns one of those companies or like a building they use or something, Candy answers with a shrug. She lets go of his hand and looks at the confused blue eyes looking back at her. You can touch, she tells him with a smile. David touches her tentatively at first, hands on her waist, before he dares to move them to her chest. Eventually, his pants are undone and her underwear is removed and they have sex. While he is the one inside her, Candy is the one fucking him for sure, moving up and down on his cock until they are done. It's quite captivating. She likes the way he looks at her in awe when she moves. This becomes the second most interesting thing about David. He had sex with Candy even though she cut off his fingers. Candy is the most interesting thing that happened to most of the people at the school, but for Candy, it's starting to be quite boring after a while. Chapter 3, Rebirth. Candy is 16 when the future planned for her becomes clear. She is sitting in the beige room with the psychiatrist and a counselor, there to talk about her future. They don't really care about what she wants, they just try to meld her into something that would fit in with her future. Have you remembered to take your medication, Frida? The psychiatrist looks at her sternly with her steel blue eyes behind a pair of tinted glasses. Every day, Candy lies to the doctor, keeping her voice flat. The pills make her drowsy, lacking in energy and out of tune with herself. She takes a pill out of the pack every day and crushed it into a powder. She has crushed many pills, so soon she could try what happens when she slips the powder to someone. What would 100 drowsy pills do to someone? Maybe the psychiatrist would like to taste her own medicine, Candy thinks. Good. Now that you are calmer, you will make a good heir, the counselor tells her, but avoids looking at her. Some of the teachers and staff are scared of her or of the consequences if they say or do something she doesn't like. None of them can really fail her in any class because her father is so powerful, and she can do pretty much what she likes. What she likes usually just revolves around not studying anything she doesn't deem interesting enough. Several proposals have been left to your father regarding your future spouse. The counselor continues, still not looking at her. The psychiatrist has her eyes on Candy firmly, though, seeing the look in Candy's eyes change. It truly dawns on Candy what her future would be, the fate of her mother, walking around white corridors as a ghost, popped up on drowsy pills, with a husband that fucked the staff and ignored whatever blonde, blue-eyed air they managed to brew up in an incubator. How does that make you feel, Frida? The psychiatrist asks, eyes still firmly on Candy. Like I want to slit my wrists, like I want to poison you with the drowsy pills, Candy thinks. But she smiles sweetly instead and shrugs, like it doesn't matter to her. She has a plan, but she can't reveal it just yet and ruin the surprise for everyone. But she will escape her mother's fate. Candy packs the belongings she likes, her violin, some of her ballerina leotards, dresses, skirts, tights, and shoes. Despite that they are colorless out of all of her clothes, they feel the most like her. In them she can dance and move freely. This is all nice, but she would need weapons next, and that would be trickier. For several years, all knives and sharp objects had been kept behind locks, since Candy got into the habit of cutting her skin to color her clothes and hair with blood. Also, bleach and other more poisonous substances are behind locks, since Candy poisoned her classmate with bleach. All she really has is the drowsy pills. After observing for a while, Candy notices that there is one employee that has access to everything, even her father's collection of guns. He's an older man, sleek gray hair, steel eyes, and apparently he is managing everything at the Andersson residence, accessing everywhere with a badge he has on his person. It's fairly easy to slip pills into the employee's drink. Apparently enough of those pills at once mean passing out, even for a fully grown man, collapsing violently onto the floor after a few wobbly steps. Candy takes the badge of the employee, learning his name, Bryant Evans, and now she has access. From a cabinet, Candy takes a few knives, and then she steals some of her father's guns. There are many of them, different size and weight, from the many businesses they own or sponsor or something. Candy holds one of the more simple guns in her hand. It's heavy and it feels powerful. She can't wait to pull the trigger and hear the bang. Once she is sure she is ready, Candy moves through the apartment complex, one floor up where the hallways were dimly lit, and there was a white automatic door that was always closed. The ghost realm, her mother's floor. She moves quietly in her ballerina clothes, a violin string in her hand. It catches the light every now and again, glimmering in the darkness beautifully. The automatic door opens quietly when Candy nears it. Her heart pounds heavily in her chest as she sees the bed at the end of the room, big and white drop curtains around it, hanging like a mystical fog. Her steps take her to the bed. It feels like she moves too fast, and yet it seems to take forever for her to reach it. There in the sheets her mother lays, paler than ever, hair more white than blonde, devoid of color completely, becoming one with the bed. Candy takes a shaking breath before she speaks quietly into the heavy silence in the room. "Don't worry, Mother. I will set you free." Her mother doesn't reply. Eyes remain closed, and her chest barely moves with the weak breath she takes. It's easy to loop the violin string around her mother's thin neck. Candy pulls at the ends of the string, watching with interest as color rises to the pale neck around the string, pink, and once the string cuts through the skin, red and vivid. Blood begins to flow, a single stream first before more and more of it soaks the white sheets. Her mother's eyes open only briefly before they turn glassy as she dies. Her mouth opens, but no sound comes out, only the wheezy sound of her trying to catch one last breath. Candy can see and hear the relief death brings her clearly. She can finally truly be the ghost she has been for all of Candy's life. Candy dips her hands into the blood, the red liquid sticking to her. She spreads it over her face, down her neck, smearing it over the white ballet dress she wears. It's still warm and she can feel how it gives her life. A rebirth, no longer Frida, but someone new. "Thank you, Mother," she says to her lifeless mother's corpse with a smile before she gets up. Time for the next step of her plan. She takes the gun out of her packed bag and enjoys the weight of it in her hand. Quick swing and her bag is on her shoulder again, and Candy continues away from her mother's room and towards the elevator. Ding, the elevator rings as the doors open to the top floor. Her father's floor, Candy steps out of the elevator more determined than when she went to see her mother. Her feet leave red stains on the white panel floor. There is music coming from her father's study, a soft melody, the notes pure and white, fitting into the perfectly muted decor. Candy heads towards that room. The door slides open automatically and silently for her, and Candy is ready, firing at the sight of her father in his dark suit like a perfect target against the white background. The recoil shocks her body for a small moment, but she presses the trigger again once she regains her footing, taking a wider stance. Another 6 times after that, until the gun is empty. Her ears ring while she shoots. The sound of the gun is deliciously loud and powerful. She can't hear the music. She knows her father is screaming because his mouth is open, but she can't hear him either. There is only the ringing in her ears and the loud shots. Her father is dead too, Candy realizes as the calm settles in. It feels light to exist without him, without both of her parents, like freedom. Intoxicating, she can do whatever she wants now. Starting with getting out of the tall ivory tower she has been living in and leaving this all behind her. Chapter 4, Becoming Candy. Being outside feels like being alive. The sky shines red and bright above her and she loves it. The ground glitters with the rain that had poured earlier, the buildings around her flashing with neon lights in different colors. Candy can finally see all the colors and hear all the sounds, feel all the life she had seen on her silver screen from her ivory tower. Now this is the world she wants to live in, perform in, the world that needs to call out her name. The blood has stained dark red on her clothes and skin as she walks through the streets without much of a destination. A blinking neon light catches her eye, the beats of the music like a heartbeat, and the smell of electricity heavy around the place. She doesn't know where she is, but steps towards the entrance with sure steps to look at the place closer. "Well, don't you look sweet?" The man at the door is tall with broad shoulders. His face is half metal. He is missing one eye. The chrome in his arms is apparent. So unlike the white polished chrome that David had for his fingers, wires and parts showing. "Like Candy," she answers him with a sweet lopsided smile, looking up at him with her big blue eyes. "Is that your name?" he asks her with a chuckle. "Sure," she answers with a shrug, musing on it. She couldn't and wouldn't be Frida Andersson anymore, not that she ever really was. Candy sounds right, sounds like her. Something the crowds could scream when she gets on the stage. He lets Candy in, no charge, and she arrives down at a club with flashing lights, loud music, and many people dancing. The kind of alive she has seen on her silver screen but never experienced. There is a band on a rough-looking stage. The notes ring off key in the right way. The air smells bitter, smoke, liquor, and sweat as the bodies sway. "Wow, you look roughed up," a voice yells next to her so she can hear him. The guy is short, around her height. His brown eyes look a bit glazed over but sweet. "Are you all right?" "Never better," Candy answers him with a genuine smile as she feels alive. She throws her bag underneath a table and heads for the dance floor with confident steps. The off-key strums, the beat of the drums, high-pitched voice singing, and the bodies around her make her feel alive. She finds girls, guys, and what feels like various other life forms to dance with, to feel against her body. Time is lost on the dance floor. The world spins and the lights blind her deliciously. She could have spent forever dancing, spinning around and around. But the music stops eventually. The crowd disappears and the flashing, colorful lights are replaced with a clear white light. It shows a dirty floor, shards of glass, spills of various kinds, blood and vomit, and a single sneaker. Candy's bag underneath the table is still there when she goes to pick it up. The short guy is also there, jumping down from the table as she comes near. "I watched out for your bag," he tells her. "Awesome," Candy answers him and eyes him again. Around her height, his face looks fairly young, around his 20s most likely. He has his own arms and 2 extra pairs in chrome installed from his sides. "Spider, that's what they call me." He introduces himself and holds out all of his right side hands to shake hers. "Must be difficult for you to find shirts, huh?" Candy comments and shakes all 3 of his hands. She wonders if they can all feel her hand. "I'm called Candy," she introduces herself, testing out her new identity. It's short, clear, and simple. It makes sense for her new life. "Spider, wrap up your futile attempt at mating and get out of here." It's the booming voice of the doorman that let Candy in. "I don't suppose you would like to come back to my place, eh?" Spider asks with an awkward smile. "Sure," Candy agrees, seeing where life would lead her next. This is probably what she is meant to do next. Her instinct tells her to follow along with a man who has 6 arms. It would give her a place to sleep for a while, if nothing more. Spider's place is small, but he welcomes Candy to crash there for as long as she likes. It's funny how he clearly wants to have sex with her, but never says anything or even dares to touch her. Politely, he lets her have his bed while himself sleeping on the floor on a thin mattress with a thin blanket. She also gets to eat his food, and he lets her have some of his clothes. They are around the same height, and she likes that the clothes have colors despite that they aren't as cute as she'd like. After a week, Candy starts a job as a cocktail waitress at a stripping club. She looks at the stage longingly, the routine of each of the dancers undressing while the attention of the audience is on them. It's mostly lust and desire, but she sees admiration in the gazes as well. She longs for the spotlight, all eyes on her, putting on a show. It takes a couple of months before Candy is up on the stage underneath a cherry red light, glitter on her body, and a shiny outfit to undress with high heels that she keeps on. She has a new look. Her once blonde and pure hair turned cherry red, her blue eyes framed by thick lashes, her pouty lips painted to match her hair, her freckles covered with pink glitter. She can hear which notes call for her to undress, and which ones need her to sway her hips or swing around the pole, mesmerizing the audience. She is a popular performer pretty soon, getting requested for lap dances and much more. She has no interest in those gigs despite how many Eurobucks she is offered. She wants to perform. After a couple of more months, she packs her bags from Spider's place and leaves while he is at work. She moves into a place of her own in Chinatown, near the club she works. It is the right time, since Spider seems to have almost mustered the courage to ask her out, hinting at how nice it would be to have a girlfriend, and how if he had a girlfriend, he would buy her nice things. Socially, life works a lot like school had, except people are more interesting. Candy takes a friend for a week before changing to another. There is Lola. She is all long legs and slender, tall body, clumsy on the stage, but beautiful in a skinny model sort of way. There is Bambi, with big brown eyes and artificial freckles, who jumps around like a child, bouncing from dick to dick. There is Amber, with her golden skin shining under the lights. And many others come and go, some dying of overdose, others of bullets, others of disease, and some finding happiness with a corpo that takes them to a mediocre flat in the executive zone. They are nice girls, but they don't stick. None of them dream bigger than the next fix of lace or the next meal. Candy dreams bigger, wants to sing, dance, and play her violin, wants to make people feel her to see her, wants to feel even more alive. She still has her violin, she is still composing songs, she is still singing lyrics she can't record or perform. She doesn't have an audience, she doesn't have a stage or an opportunity to let people hear her. Candy, people come here to see you whip your tits out. They don't care about your stupid tunes. The owner of the club tells her time after time, when she asks if she can sing one song, one night. If you want to earn more, you know what they will pay more for. Oh, wouldn't it be a shame if that fat fuck accidentally drank bleach and went blind, Candy thinks. But keep her mouth shut, just pouting her lips. One night, another new girl arrives at the club, or at least Candy hasn't noticed her before. Porcelain skin, eyes dark, not a single hair out of place. Sitting so still in front of the mirror it looks like she is a doll, lifeless but beautiful. Candy has never seen anyone be that still, except her own mother. Maybe another escaped from the ivory towers, so she is curious about this new doll. Keep moving like that, doll, and they will be paying extra to watch you breathe. Candy says what comes to her mind first. It usually works for her. People like her observations, even if according to official records from way back when her worldview is delusional and she lacks in academic knowledge. The girl turns, movement controlled, and looks as much like a doll as before, but suddenly having come to life. So not like Candy's mother, this one had life left in her yet. I wasn't moving, she answers, her voice sounding as controlled as her movement. Exactly. That's how it works, Candy answers her with an easy smile. She thinks maybe it's not time to tell the new girl how not moving would kill her slowly but surely, draining all the life out of her until she was a shell of a human being, a ghost like her mother. Candy is quite sure this girl knows anyways. She must be from a place they taught her to sit still. They had tried to teach Candy that for a while, even gave her the drowsy pills, but they failed. Candy is meant to move. Candy walks up to the girl with dancing steps, swaying her hips and hopping up on the counter to look at the girl. Her fingers come across an eyeliner pencil, and she picks it up just to draw a heart on the mirror for the girl. A bit more life to the nearly lifeless doll. She needs it. She can be revived. What's your real name? Candy asks, blue eyes watching the girl while waiting for an answer. The question is in a serious tone, while the first part of Candy coming in had been more playful. A soft intro before this seriously worded bridge in their song. Yumiko. The given answer is a clear lie, dark eyes looking away from Candy, hesitation in the voice. All right, not ready for honesty yet, but Candy would figure this girl out. Sure, if you say so, Candy answers easily, though it is clear she isn't buying the answer. But she won't dwell on this, so she continues. You can call me Candy. Everybody does. It's the truth. It's her name. Frida had always been a fantasy, something people wanted Candy to be, but never existed. The idea of Frida was buried well over a year ago, killed with her parents, to give room for Candy to live her life. Chapter 5. Home and Family. The first year teaches Candy a lot about finances, like that rent is to be paid once every month. That is quite difficult to remember for someone who never had to pay for anything ever before. Things were always just brought to her. Her room was always just there for her to live in, and food and drink was always available. Not down here away from her ivory tower. Once Candy doesn't pay her rent for long enough, her landlord wants her to move out. The landlord himself is a busy man, some big-time guy who owns a lot of properties, so he has a fixer who handles all the rent collections. Once this fixer can't get Candy to pay by phone calls or messages, he decides that the rent must be collected personally, and she must be kicked out. But he is not that kind of fixer, preferring to stay indoors and get people to do the dirty work. So he pays another fixer to handle Candy, a more hands-on sort of person. A tall, big, and broad-shouldered man with colorful hair and colorful tattoos on his tan skin, keen eyes, and a friendly face. He knocks on the container's door at noon one day. Candy usually sleeps well into the day and wakes up to the loud knocks at her door. She doesn't bother with clothes, but throws a shiny, silky red robe over her otherwise naked body before going to open the door. Face bare of makeup, big blue eyes without false lashes around them, and with the freckles on her nose, she looks like the teenager she still is, 17 soon to be 18. Hiya, she tells the man with a smile and tilts her head to one side in thought. I don't think we have met before. Hi, we have not met before. I am Twinkle Two Stars, and I am here on behalf of Mr. Kendall, your landlord, he says, voice pleasant but not shying away from getting down to business. Candy likes that. She will not have to try and decode what this man is trying to tell her. Miss, you have 3 months' rent due. You need to pay that and pack up your things and go. Oh, I thought I paid it a while back. But maybe that was 4 months back. Candy answers him with a shrug, every word honest, a very carefree attitude to her eviction. She opens the door for him to come in and closes it behind him. But I will see what I have and you can have that. I think some of the girls at the club sometimes sleep in the dressing room. I think I can manage that before I find a new one of these boxes. She gestures around with her hand as she goes to get her bag with her agent and her money. Here, you take what you need. Oh, I'm Candy, by the way. Don't know if Mr. Kendall told you. She introduces herself with a smile and hands the fixer her bag with her wallet and personal belongings. Twinkle 2 Stars hesitates for a moment before he sits on her purple couch and goes through her purse, starting to count her money. It takes him a good while, and Candy changes into a pair of jeans and a hoodie while she waits and packs up her things into her duffel bag, since she would be leaving. "You have 2 months here and I need 3, Twinkle 2 Stars tells with a serious look on his friendly face. "Do you have anything you can sell? Like the violin over there, for example." "You can take anything, but not the violin," Candy tells him sternly and hands him the duffel bag she had been packing. It still has the different guns she took from her father before she left at the bottom of it, including the one she had shot her father with. The weapons interest the fixer, who looks through them clearly with some knowledge of them. "Well, there are 3 months' rent worth of guns here. These are all in good condition. Do you use these?" he asks her. "No, you take those. I could keep that one if you don't mind." She points and points at the simple gun, the one she had shot her father with. He hands it back to her and takes the rest of the guns with him. "So you're a musician?" he asks with interest, looking at her violin again, dusting away in the corner since she never had the time to play and didn't have a studio to record in. "Yes," she answers him with a smile. He is the first person to take interest in her music, so she excitedly goes to pick up her violin to play for him. "Wait a minute, while I tune it, then you'll see." It feels so good to have the strings under her fingers after such a long time, the notes switching with ease as she starts the melody. She knows the song, she has composed it, but the lyrics are not ready yet, so she just plays it without singing and dances her ballet steps. Twinkle 2 Star applauses her performance and she takes a bow. They talk about her music, and after some conversation, he tells her he could fix her up with some small gigs to begin with, maybe a chance to record a song or 2. He can also negotiate for her to keep the container, but she would have to remember to pay her rent from now on. Candy promises to do that, or at least to try. The new girl, allegedly Yumiko as she introduced herself unconvincingly, doesn't have a place to stay yet. This becomes apparent when Candy finds her sleeping, or trying to sleep, on the dressing room floor. Something about that doesn't feel right. She should not be alone on the floor, so Candy invites her over to her rental container by the docks. It's just the one room, no windows. It has a bathroom with a shower in the corner, a bed, a couch, and what little belongings Candy has. A violin, a small amplifier, a laptop, and colorful clothes hanging on a rack, a mirror and makeup and bottles of perfume on a furry rug on the floor. "These are my clothes. I think we might be the same size, so you can borrow any clothes you like," Candy offers, running her fingers across the fabrics as she passes by the clothing rack. They stand equally tall from what Candy can tell, but as she looks over the other girl's body, Yumiko looks more slender than Candy is. So she corrects herself. "I mean, you might not fill out the chest area the way I do, but I'm sure they will fit and you can breathe easily." The comment gains her a look from the dark eyes, but Yumiko stays silent, and very still, not moving much. "This is my violin," Candy tells her further, showing her violin and amplifier with a fond smile as she looks at her instrument. She misses playing, she misses singing. Her body and soul aches with a longing to be heard and seen. She knows one day she will stand on a stage and play the violin again, spotlight solely on her with the attention of all of Night City. "You can't borrow my violin," she adds, though probably unnecessarily. "This is my couch," she says, gesturing to the purple plush 2-seat couch in front of a fluffy pink carpet that feels soft under her feet. "You can borrow my couch for most stuff, I think," Candy tells her with a shrug. "This is my bed," she then finally says as they arrive at the mattress on the floor in the corner. It has a lot of pillows, many blankets, and a string of lights above the headboard, all in pinks and purples. "You can sleep in my bed with me, but never with anyone else," she tells the other girl with a smile and a wink. There is a pink hue on Yumiko's cheeks. Candy guesses a blush at her harmless, joking flirtation, but it might be the glow of her pink decor lights. Hard to tell. They sleep side by side. Candy is comfortable right away, and she feels the girls slowly get comfortable too. They talk, nothing meaningful at first, but everything meaningful after a while, both of their stories escaping their ivory towers. Quite alike, but then again not at all. Yumiko's real name is Akiko, and some long surname Candy hears, but can't remember after a while. Candy calls her by her real name often, but only in private. It's a secret trusted to Candy, and it surprises even herself how seriously she takes keeping it. Knowing Akiko feels heavy, grounding Candy when she is usually just flying around. It feels nice, intimate, and comforting. Like what having a family might feel like, Candy thinks and tells Akiko that they are sisters, much closer than friends. Friends are around for a week. Candy wants Akiko to be around forever. Chapter 6, Bloody and Beautiful. Eventually, to get enough money for violin strings and other stuff she needs to advance her career, Candy agrees to do lap dances. She is 20 already. Her violin is worn from the smaller gigs she has played, and she is due for an upgrade, maintenance at least. Candy's lap dances come with conditions. The men can't touch her, only feel as much of her in their lap as she allows, and otherwise just watch. It's basically a performance, a private one. Hell, you are one high-maintenance stripper, the owner of the place tells her with a sigh when she tells him her terms of the lap dances. High maintenance referred to other things, like the color of the spotlights on her, the tempo of the songs she stripped to, the shade of glitter on her skin, the colors of the outfits she wore. If it wasn't for your fucking amazing tits, you wouldn't be worth it. She had heard that one from him before. Yeah, they're almost as big as yours, but I think I lose to you with half a cup size. She replies to him with a smug smile. Since descending from her ivory tower, she has been told many worse things about her worth than the bar owner told her almost daily. Luckily, Candy knows her worth. It can't be measured in Eurobucks, despite that everyone keeps trying to tell her so. Luckily for me, I earn tips with this cleavage, he jokes back at her with a hoarse laugh. And fine, I will set that arrangement up. But I can't promise the sleazeballs will keep their hands off you, even if that is the deal. Don't worry about that. I can control men. Candy answers him with confidence and a lopsided smile. And it does work like that for a month or two. Candy has the men under control, all of them keeping their hands at their sides, watching her and letting her perform for them. She has a confidence about her that makes people mostly give in to her. But then one night she doesn't have control over the man with her. It had never occurred to Candy that a man, or anyone, would not do as she said, would not listen to the word no. It had also never occurred to her that any given man was bigger and stronger than her. It had never occurred to her that people could hurt her. It had never happened before. It all becomes clear to her that night, a harsh reality she has never been faced with before. After the incident, she stumbles backstage, puts on her biggest hoodie and pulls the hood over her head. With lash-framed blue eyes, she looks at the bruises on her wrists, dark purple and blue on her pale skin. For the first time in her life, she feels vulnerable and hurt. Her chest feels tight and it's hard to breathe. It's the doubt building up. Maybe she is not as special as she thought she was. Maybe she is just as ordinary as the rest of the people here, made of skin and bone, someone who could be broken. It's the closest she ever comes to crying, but her tears don't fall. That is how Akiko finds her backstage, sitting uncharacteristically still and looking at the bruises with musing eyes. It's a couple of steps, and she is next to Candy, dark eyes flashing with emotion as she notices the bruises. The anger is bringing her alive, burning like a spreading fire, the kind no one can control. I will kill him, Akiko says once Candy has explained what happened. The words have more of the fire behind them. They are not just smoke. It lights Candy up too, her interest swifting from the drowning doubt to Akiko and the intense feeling she has brought out in the girl. You will. Can I watch? Candy asks, with full lips carefully coming to a small smile again. While Night City has offered her plenty of tragedies, a lot of bodies and much blood, it hasn't felt up close and personal. It's in the background somewhere, it's not hers. Not the way the blood flowing from her own palms had been, not the way the life she took from her mother had been, and not the way the holes she shot in her father's body were hers. Maybe this is destiny. This is part of how she learns how to be more powerful again, to be alive. They track him down easily enough. He is still hanging around the club. Akiko lures him backstage with her easily, putting on what Candy thinks is her Yumiko act. Once backstage, there is no hesitation, just a quick flash and a hum as something flashes. One slice across his chest, Another one across his head. The blood spills and splatters before he falls to the floor lifeless. And Candy can't take her eyes off Akiko. Her porcelain skin is covered in blood spatter, a fire behind the dark eyes still burning, her hair out of place, messy in the right way. She looks so alive, so beautiful. Candy dances her way to the other girl and puts her arms around Akiko, hugging her clothes. Amazing, she tells Akiko out of breath, the word against the skin of the other girl's neck. She laughs happily and looks at Akiko. There is blood on her face, her hair, her neck. On her cheek a drop is dripping red against the white skin. Candy catches it with her thumb, the touch soft and intimate before she brings her fingers to her lips and licks the drop of. Copper on her tongue, the blood of the man who hurt her. She takes back everything he took from her. She heals. You have never looked more beautiful. The most beautiful thing I have ever seen, Candy tells Akiko, tracing the blood splatter with her eyes. So messy, so dirty, so vivid with red, so beautiful. It feels so intense she almost leans in for a kiss. Her head feels dizzy. She is turned on. But Candy can't. Her body shakes with the intensity. She might just burst into flames if she does, so she pulls away to catch her breath with a smile. They decide they are too big for the club at this point, take the money out of the dead man's pockets and walk out without ever coming back. Candy starts making music full-time, and Akiko comes over a lot to tell of her work. Wonderful bedtime stories. Candy drifts off listening to them, dreaming of bones, flesh and blood, a round of shots, sharp blades and the wires that can cut through a throat like it's nothing. It reminds Candy of her violin string across her mother's throat and the bullet holes in her father's body. Sweet dreams with Akiko by her side, all pretty and deadly, ready to kill anyone that bothers them. Chapter 7. Drugs and Insecurities. Candy's own music gig is at Forlorn Hope. It's a small stage, a small pub with a small dance floor, but she loves it. She is too excited to be nervous, stupidly confident in both her music, her violin play and her dancing, her fate to be a shining star. It's the confidence that lures people in to watch her, some in awe, some with judgment, but they watch. Her skin tingles with all the eyes on her. Her insides burn with the energy her audience gives her. She feels so alive. She is shining so bright. Akiko is in the back somewhere, though Candy can't see her with the blinding lights. The stages get bigger, the lights get brighter, but she can always feel Akiko. Her energy is different from the rest of her audience in a way she can't explain. If the rest of the energy is a bright yellow, Akiko is a calm blue. It just matters to her more that Akiko is there than the rest of the audience. But there is no denying that Candy loves the adoration of the fans she gets. Soon, she is very rarely paying for food or drink on her own, usually having someone buy it for her. Later, it's drugs on occasion, which is fun at first, some getting her high and super energized and others having her head fuzzy and spinning. One drug has her seeing her ghostly mother and her faceless father in her ceiling. Her mother is all white, but the blood-red cut on her throat is bright. Her father is in a dark, sleek suit with messy bullet holes through him. Both of them finally look at her, eyes white and decayed. Now they see her. She thinks with a smile as she looks back at them. Candy, they call out to her, their voices echoing on her walls coming from beyond. It's like a melody and Candy listens to it like a lullaby. You finally see me, she tells them, speaking to her ceiling and reaching her hands towards them to catch the blood drops raining from them. She sleeps peacefully that night with her parents watching over her in her ceiling. After a while, the drugs aren't a great idea when Candy wakes up one morning bruised and hurting, though she can't remember what happened. The feeling it brings up is unfamiliar to her, a lump in her throat, a weight on her shoulders, it's fear. She's afraid as she runs her hands over the bruises on her body, the blacks and purples a sharp contrast to her pale skin, which still shines with glitter. She doesn't like the feeling, so she pushes it down, gets up, takes a shower and covers her body with clothes, a big hoodie and long leggings, socks. She can't cover her bruised neck, but she supposes those bruises look like hickeys anyway. She can pretend that it was a fun night. Later, Candy receives the video of the night before of the guy abusing her while she is out of it, her eyes barely open, her body limp as he manhandles her. No cuts to her skin, but she is beaten, bruised and sexually abused in many ways before the recording stops. He threatens to publish the video for everyone to see. A new wave of emotion comes over her. Not drowning like the fear had been, uplifting and energizing and violent, Candy is so angry. How dare this man think he can tell her what to do? She would never bow to a disgusting nobody like him. She tells him he can go ahead, publish the video. She looks pretty and shiny, even blackout drunk and out of it. But he might have to be careful since she has fans and friends who might cut his dick off if they find out what he did. She thinks about Akiko, who probably would hurt that man for her if she ever found out what had happened. Like she had way back when they worked at the club a couple of years ago. Part of Candy misses that time, when she saw Akiko every day, and while it wasn't really what she wanted to be doing, she had felt happy, she guesses. While she still sees Akiko, it's not every day anymore, and sometimes the time between feels too long if Candy isn't keeping herself busy. It's strange that Akiko shows up that night after the job she had been doing. The door opens and closes while Candy is still and pondering things and thinking about Akiko, something she doesn't really like to do. She is much better at just acting on impulses. Akiko doesn't say hi, doesn't say anything, just comes in and sits herself on the floor next to Candy's couch. Candy is laying on her back and looking at her own hands and wrists, the bruises from different angles. She is quick to pull her sleeves over them when Akiko arrives. "Rough night?" Candy asks her and instinctively reaches her hand to take Akiko. It feels like the right thing to do, to be close, to touch. Candy thinks sometimes when Akiko comes to her, she is almost faded to black completely, without colors, and Candy touches her to bring color in, bring more life in, like when she drew that heart on the mirror. "Just busy," Akiko replies. Apparently that is a yes, all the better reason for Akiko to come to her, so Candy can revive her. "You look tired, you should sleep." "Only if you stay, come to bed with me," Candy tells her, going for her jokingly flirting tone once more. Akiko doesn't get flustered like she used to, but she never jokes back either. Akiko showers and Candy borrows her some clothes to sleep in after. A big black t-shirt with shimmering and colorful Candy written on the front, one of her concert t-shirts. It makes Candy smile as she looks at her name on Akiko. That's how it should be. "Looks good on you, you should wear it more often," she tells Akiko with a wink and laugh. Akiko rolls her eyes at the comment. "Are you sleeping with all those clothes on?" Akiko asks as she gets into the bed with Candy. Big hoodie, long leggings and socks, all of Candy is covered up except her face, part of her neck and hands. Big contrast to her usual next to nothing skimpy nightgowns if she even bothered with those. "I'm cold," Candy whines with a pout. "Won't you hold me just tonight?" she asks, voice sincere for once, not the jokingly flirty tone. Akiko agrees silently and does hold her. Candy rests her head on Akiko's chest, while Akiko strokes along her hoodie-covered back. The touch is magic. All the bruises and hurt go away. Candy feels it slowly working. She falls asleep like that, warm and safe and content, happy. The next day she wakes up alone, confused but well-rested. She guesses Akiko had to go and continues on with what she has to be doing, music, dance, and all of that. Chapter 8, Regaining Power. Twinkle Two-Star is getting busier and busier, but he always gets Candy what she needs, music stuff mostly up until now. But after that incident, Candy feels like she needs some sort of protection to gain back her sense of security. So she goes to him with a request, not really knowing what she wants, but what she wants the thing to do. "So I was thinking, I want something that if some guy touches me and I don't like that, it could hurt him bad. Or kill him instantly, or poison him, or something." Candy explains to Twinkle when they see each other. Twinkle comes by once in a while to check that Candy is still paying her rent, probably on orders from her landlord. It seems to still easily slip her mind. The Eurobucks still don't mean much to her. Just numbers on a screen, one number after another, always changing and changing. "I'm assuming this is for guys that don't take no for an answer." Twinkle answers her with a thoughtful glance. His eyes look at her like trying to figure her out, and sometimes it feels like he can see right through her. "Something happened to you." "A guy just did not obey me," Candy answers with a tilt of her head thinking. It's strange because she still operates the world in a way where she can tell people around her what to do mostly. Not as effective as when she was at school, but with a sharp look and confident tone people didn't mess with her unnecessarily or dare to bother her. But this guy was different, still harassing her with the video and threatening to assault her again. Guys usually do, Twinkle asks, a bit skeptical, sharp eyes looking at her in thought. Yay, Candy answers easily like it's obvious. I thought I'd learn to shoot too, at least a little bit, she answers him with a sigh. She is tired of the stalker, he just has to die at this point. And she wants to do this herself, it's personal and she needs to get her power back from him. If someone is bothering you, I'm sure feedback would help you out, Twinkle tells her. And he is right, feedback as in a Kiko would help Candy with this if she asked her to. And it would be amazing to see a Kiko covered in blood and with fury in her eyes, almost too tempting to pass out on. But somewhere in her, Candy can feel the need to do this herself. The need to take back her own power from this man. The hunger to kill him is so strong, she needs to satisfy it. Yay, I know, but I want to do this on my own. So can you get me something that will kill him when he touches me? Candy asks again, getting back to her original question. Shock armor is the answer. Someone touches Candy and she can shock them right off her. She hates the gray color of the suit and the way it looks on her. So she takes it to get altered to her taste. More catsuit-like, color changeable with a button to match her mood, belt around her slim waist and a zipper in the front so she can show as much cleavage as she likes. It looks good on Candy. Practicing shooting is boring. Knocking tin cans off a fence or other target practice. Candy does some practice anyway, but quickly decides it's not for her. Like most things in life, she will wing the shooting when she has to do it. She had done it once before and out of 8 bullets, 6 hit her father. Fairly good odds, it's not so bad. Time to confront the stalker then, but Candy can't find him because the messages aren't from anyone she knows the name of. It's where she needs help, and remembers the name of a netrunner Akiko knows. No Cloud is his name, so Candy calls him up. Apparently what Candy asks for is very easy, since she has the guy's actual real number. No seems surprised she even needed help with this, since it was pretty basic to look someone up with a number. Candy just tells him she isn't a nerd and thanks him for the help. The guy is called the Situation, which is confusing. What situation is he? But with that information, Candy finds out which bar he frequents and heads on down there to find him. It's a fairly nice place. A DJ by the dance floor, bass thumping loudly, dim light and flashing neon everywhere. The Situation is sitting by the bar with a drink, rather skinny and lanky guy with a beer in front of him. Candy doesn't have much of a plan, so she walks up to him and looks at him until he notices her with wide, confused and slightly scared eyes. Hi, Candy tells him with a smile. Recognize me? Yay, you're Candy, you play music. He mumbles out the explanation, seemingly nervous and shy, eyes looking at her and then quickly away. It's almost hard to believe this is the guy that in the video assaulted her, left bruises on her skin. Now he is a mumbling, insecure man looking ready to wet himself in front of her. But as she watches his hands, she can see he has many arms, 6 in total, 2 pairs in chrome and his human ones. You should come with me, Candy tells him. It's a fact, a statement, something that would happen, not a request. No, thank you, the man answers, still mumbling the words out and looking down at his drink. It makes Candy angry, seeing red that he won't even look at her. This weak man beat and bruised her, but won't even look at her now. It wasn't a request. You will come with me, Candy tells him and grabs his arm. That is when he changes and reacts, getting up and pushing her to the wall with his big chrome hands on her throat, cutting off her airways, other pair pushing at her body. Candy's vision blurs for a quick second, before she can see him again. Ears ring so hard she can hardly hear the music. His metallic hands feel cold and hard against her skin, and his whole body is pressed against hers to prevent movement. You don't tell me what to do, you fucking slut. His voice is still low, still mumbled, still a bit of a stutter, but somehow more powerful. His eyes lock with hers, and she sees her own reflection in his dark eyes for a small second. A small hesitation in her, a flash of fear, a small dose of insecurity before she changes that. Candy makes use of her shock armor, the shock wave having him retreat from her. She then takes her gun out, quick to shoot at him 8 times, until she is out of bullets. She is pleased to see all 8 bullets hit him, 1 in the chest, 1 in his crotch, 1 in his eye, and many more in various other parts of him. Life drains from his remaining eye as he looks up at her dying, taking his last shaky breath. Candy can feel the life that leaves him plant itself into her, giving back the power he took from her. Candy can't help but smile even if she is out of breath and coughing. It feels amazing, her first kill after killing her parents. Music has stopped, people have run out of the place, and the bouncer comes to check on what has happened. He finds the corpse of the situation on the floor, and Candy out of breath, holding her sore throat, catching her breath. Before Candy can even say anything, the bartender tells that the man attacked her, and Candy just defended herself. Candy goes along with that story. It's pretty much the truth anyway. I had to get this shock suit because of him, she tells the bouncer with a pout of her lips. He offers to escort her home and Candy accepts. He is tall and handsome and looks at her like she is the goddess she rightfully and truly is. At her place, she fucks him, bouncing on his dick until they are both spent. Something about killing her stalker had turned her on, the life draining from his eyes, that she is the last thing he saw before he died somehow made it better. Candy feels so alive and falls asleep next to the bouncer, more satisfied with herself than ever before. Chapter 9. Songs and Inspiration. There's a new concert, the biggest one yet coming up, a large stage and many lights, a crowd that has bought tickets just to see Candy. She has made something of herself, published a couple of songs, but now she has composed, seeked her soul for more inspiration. Killing her parents, a Kiko killing that man, killing that stalker herself, the thrill, the blood, the beauty of violence. This concert will be the one she plays her new songs at, along with some of her older songs, which were mostly about how amazing she is and how to devote life to her. It's been a while since she has seen a Kiko, but Candy wants her to come hear her new songs. So she sends a text, telling a Kiko to come see the concert, new songs to be played. It's more of a statement that a Kiko should come see the concert than actually nicely asking. A Kiko answers shortly that she will be there. Candy can feel her out there in the audience when she gets on stage. A Kiko doesn't cheer or scream like many of Candy's fans do, but she is there, and Candy smiles genuinely at that. Now she would sing for a Kiko in a while, but she starts with a classic. I'm a vision on the stage when lights break through. I can feel waves of emotions coming straight from you. And I know you feel my devotion, singing it back to you. I can only feel this religion when you feel me too. It gets the crowd warmed up, their voices shouting her name. It makes her feel alive, and she continues on with the show, feeling high on the feeling. New song, Candy announces shortly and starts to play, melody and dance coming along naturally, until she comes to the part where she sings and slows down, picturing a Kiko listening to her sing, the lyrics specifically written for the other girl. Porcelain skin, and not a hair out of place. I look for a pulse with my fingers, I trace. It is faint, but it's there. This doll is alive. I draw her a heart so she can survive. The song continues for a while, until Candy plays the last note and takes a bow. The rest of the concert is spent with dances, songs, notes hitting high, the audience's energy feeding her body, soul, and mind. Akiko's energy is different, maybe because the lyrics were about her and she knows that. Something in the blue energy is changed. It's like a hot flame burning blue instead of calm ocean waves. Candy wants to fuel it further. One more new song, yay, she asks, and the audience answers with a cheer. She starts to play again, moving on the stage with dance steps that come easy to her, with a confidence that no one can waver. There's fire in your eyes. You're fully alive. There's a corpse on the floor. He had to die. There's blood on your cheek. It tastes divine. This is all too much. Spins this head of mine. Candy spins as well a couple of times as she plays the last notes of the song. Taking a bow, she exits the stage with a wave and smile, feeling a bit lightheaded. She will be high on her performance for a while, thrilled at how amazing she is, and she is excited for another reason too. A Kiko will come to hers tonight, she is sure of it. And Candy has a great idea to tell a Kiko, one that a Kiko will love. Sure enough, a Kiko waits for her outside the concert place, when Candy gets out after changing out of her stage outfit and packing up her stuff. The air is fresher than inside, but smells like smoke and gasoline and electricity, something very Night City. Candy drops her stuff and runs to a Kiko, wrapping her arms around the other girl, hugging her tight, heart fluttering and a smile on her face. She's still high from the concert, and the sight of her friend overwhelms her with happiness. "Wasn't I amazing?" Candy asks against Akiko's neck, still hugging her and laughing happily. Akiko's arms are around her too, more hesitant than Candy's but holding her nonetheless. "Always," Akiko answers her shortly. It's faint, but Candy can feel the emotion in her voice, in her energy, in her small tremor in the hands on her back. "That's also true," Candy answers and pulls away to catch her breath. "Wanna stay over? It's been a while and I haven't heard a bedtime story of yours in ages." It's agreed as they head towards Candy's place, Akiko already telling Candy a story on the car ride over. It's bloody and gory, just the way Candy likes the stories, hopefully no details spared. Once they are at Candy's place, they shower, throw on clothes to sleep in and slip under Candy's sheet on her bed. "Another story?" Candy asks, her hand finding Akiko's to hold. She's already feeling calmer, her red color mixing into Akiko's blue. She can see it before her, the beautiful lilac their colors make when touching. It feels warm but not burning. "I think I'm fresh out," Akiko answers her, voice already drowsy. She seems to sleep well next to Candy, comfortable in a way she doesn't seem to be elsewhere. "Too bad," Candy answers with a sigh, but she feels rather happy and content. She continues, finally telling the news she has. "I think I will start to experience my own stories anyway. I need more inspiration for my songs." The silence that follows is longer than Candy thought it would be. She turns to look at Akiko, who seems to be thinking, dark eyes looking at her. They try to figure her out, like so many eyes before had tried, psychiatrist, David, twinkle 2 stars. Candy smiles. It's amusing when people try to follow her thoughts. Akiko actually has a shot at succeeding. "You're serious?" Akiko asks finally, apparently coming to the correct conclusion that Candy isn't kidding. "Well, yay," Candy answers easily with a frown. She really thought Akiko would be excited about this, but it doesn't seem to be going like that. She almost questions it, but Akiko answers her before she has the chance. "Then you come with me." The words are a statement, not a request. It's how it will be. And while Candy doesn't usually like being told what to do, the excitement of working with Akiko again beats her gut reaction to refuse orders. "I will love that," Candy answers her excitedly and presses herself to Akiko's side. "We will have so much fun," she continues, her thoughts drifting to shooting men dead, cutting their heads off, both of them covered red in blood, alive and bright in Night City.